Hi everyone, welcome to Workshop 2. In Workshop 2, we're going to be going over what's the requirements for this week. For this week, we're going to be looking at the role of elasticity, which is a really interesting concept. Elasticity is going to focus on how stores evaluate how consumers price their products. How consumers feel about their products. When we look at elasticity is very important in our analysis. And because stores evaluate how consumers perceive what their products are. When you look at elasticity, there can be two types of goods, an elastic good and an inelastic good. An elastic good is a good where when there's a price change, there's a large change in demand. Whereas an inelastic good, when there's a price change, there's a small change in demand. So for this week, you have the readings, which is right here on this tab. You have the concept questions in the discussion board. We're going to look at both discussion board questions. You have the problems and applications. You have the article analysis, and then the research paper, which is due by the end of Workshop 3. But we'll review a little bit of that today. So for the first discussion board question, we want to look at the following right here. And we want to look at, there's a debate about environmental impacts of burning coal. We want to find what are the most probable impacts of a more stringent environmental regulations. Make observations regarding who might be affected by this. So what you want to look at is environmental regulations. Why does regulations need to occur? Why can't the free market adjust for it? And then observations on who is affected by these decisions. That's very important. You want to make sure that your post is done by the 4th day of the workshop. You have 2 peer responses. In your initial post, make sure to have an APA formatted in-text citation and reference to support your work. And make sure, if you want, you can easily, I should do it this way. Please make sure to focus on content development, because a lot of you wrote things that didn't really have any support. So that's what we need to focus on. Now, discussion 2.3. In discussion 2.3, you want to relate which one is more elastic and inelastic out of those 4 or those 7 things. Be very specific to why you selected inelastic and elastic. Make sure to also focus on the determinants of elasticity, which is very important. Also, make sure to look at the definition of the market. The more specific something is, the more it is elastic. The more elastic it is, the more broad it is. So gasoline, that'd be an example of an inelastic good. And we look at things that consumers want. Those are going to be more examples of inelastic compared to elastic, or where consumers have a lot of availability and have choices available to them. Be very specific to why you selected each of them. I would put them in order with numbers and then an explanation after it. That's very important. For the Dropbox assignment, you're going to be completing the following chapters right here. Make sure to really look at your content development, as the content development is very important. And when you look at the content development, you really want to make sure that you're looking at each part of the question. With each part of the question, you're actually putting the question number that you're answering. You're working on your clarity of your answers. And you're also working on making sure that you can focus on what the question's looking at. And then for 2.5, You're going to select an article from the Wall Street Journal or any other reputable business source, which would be a local newspaper. You're going to prepare a 1 to 2 page analysis of the article. Now, you want to make sure to include the topic, author's main point or argument, and the conclusion. Make sure to put in the full article in your paper. You want the full article. So copy and paste it at the end. Make sure that you look at how you're being graded. You're being graded on your analysis, relevance, and spelling and use of citations. Really focus on this aspect. Now, if you need any help or if you'd like me to pre-grade any of your work, please let me know, as I'm more than willing to assist. If you send it through email to me, I can review your effort to provide any comments as well. But I look forward to your effort and your support in this unit.